There's one more idea that you'll need to understand about circuits in order to build a soil moisture meter: resistance. Resistance is a measure of the force acting against an electrical current. So as you've discovered, some materials like paper or rubber stop electricity from flowing freely, causing the light bulb in your circuit to fail to light up. These materials are then said to display significant electrical resistance. So how can learning about resistance help us understand how soil moisture meters work? To answer that question, you first have to understand how soil moisture meters like this one measure soil moisture. So the soil moisture meters work by measuring the resistance between the two metal probes when they're stuck in the soil. And using the internal computer, they send an electrical pulse down one probe and receive it in the other, forming a circuit with the soil acting as a conduit. The soil moisture meter then records the amount of resistance that the electrical pulse encountered and converts that into a reading that can tell us what percentage of the total soil is made up of water. So the important idea here is that soil itself is not conductive, so electricity can't really pass through it. However, the nutrients and minerals in the soil are conductive when water is present, so electricity can pass through those. This means that when you try to run a current through the soil itself acts as a resistor, reducing the strength of the current. If it's harder for energy to move from one probe to the other, that means the soil is really dry. If it's easier for energy to move from one probe to the other, that means that it's wet. And that's it. That's how a soil moisture meter works. So when you move on, you'll learn a little bit more about how we use a microbit computer that we'll be using in class. And then you can apply your knowledge of circuits to come up with your own plan to build a soil moisture meter using the microbit. You'll have a few more questions to respond to in your science notebook, and then we can finally think about how to build our soil moisture meter.